Okay, got a bit more information now about the subway and exactly why it was such a large swath that was closed down. So if you're just joining us, there is no subway service. Union only to Bloor now. It was a small fire at Wellesley Station. Not much, but the problem was it happened just before service started. So getting trains through the line is a tougher thing. They also had a work car that was trapped at Bloor Station. That's why they closed it all the way to Eglinton. So they've moved that train off now, and now you can at least get from Eglinton down to Bloor. But there is no subway service. Shuttle buses are out on Yonge Street right now between Bloor to Union Station. No indication yet how long this is going to go on. Keeping my fingers crossed that we'll have some good news for you in a couple minutes.
So stay tuned. We'll have the latest. Okay, we're talking about Fraud Prevention Month. March is Fraud Prevention Month, and we're going to be sharing some tips about protecting things like your online identity, because sometimes information gets out when you're not even suspecting it, and you're posting things on social media all the time. So one of our first tips, Facebook. Things like Facebook, Twitter, check your social media account settings. See who is seeing your posts. So when you go through your post, you can see whether it's going to public, friends, only me. You can also create custom groups, so you can only send it to a certain group of family, for example. But what you don't want to do is be posting information so that people have information, if you, the public, if they're getting things like your birth date, that could be very dangerous information in the wrong hands.
Well, it is kind of silly, too, because there's so many places that ask you for verification of your ID. Can I have your birth date and your postal code? Two things anyone could possibly research, and don't make it easy for them.
Exactly. The other thing I want to talk about, too, are these phishing emails. We always talk about this where people click on links they shouldn't be. This is an example of a PayPal email, for example, and they're asking you to click to confirm your account information. That is always bad. If it's a legitimate company, they're never going to ask you to do that. They're going to ask you to go to the actual site, they're going to ask you to sign in, or they're going to ask you to call into their actual call center. You are doing the work. They're not going to make you click on it or to email reply with your password.
But Winston, when I click it, it looks just like my account. I mean, it really looks like the web page.
And these hackers make it very easy and make it look legitimate, but quite often it's not. And the other thing you want to do as well is monitor things like your credit score. Breakfast Television, working with Capital One, the Credit Keeper is a fantastic tool that gives you a free weekly update on your credit score for select Capital One customers. And what this allows you to do is monitor things like inquiries on your credit file, so that if there's anything that does not seem right, you're able to raise it up and investigate it before it's too late.
And if something happens to you somewhere down the line where somebody has hacked into your information, things like that, it's funny, but the credit score, your credit score is going to be the first indicator. That's your first barometer that something is wrong. So keeping track of it, really good idea.
And so much of your life is tied to your credit score. And a recent survey they did said only 21% of Canadians checked their credit score recently. So it's really important we do this more and more. And this is a fantastic tip. Wow. More tips at capitalone.ca/fraud prevention.
All right. Let's go to Mel.